Okay, so I'd like to call to order the meeting of Thursday, June 20th, of regular meeting of the Governing Board of Pivot Charter School. Can we have a roll call?
All right, let's see, roll call. Secretary Halverson?
Here.
Thank you. Member Holmes?
Here.
Thank you. Chair Lewis is absent. Vice Chair Martell?
Present.
Thank you. Member Siegel is absent. Member Sutherland?
Here.
Excellent. All right, we have 4 out of 6, so we do have a quorum.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Are there, you've all had a chance to review the agenda. Any additions, modifications to the agenda?
Vice Chair Martell, if I could just point out one item on the agenda similar to what happened on the 15th. We had one item on the consent agenda that we would like to have pulled, and that's number 4.3, workplace violence prevention plans. It was determined that this does not need to be approved by the board after all.
Okay, so we will remove item 4.3, workplace violence prevention plan, from the agenda. If there are no other changes, can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Tom moves.
Thank you, Tom. Do I have
Second.
a second? Was that Ralph?
It was.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Okay, so we'll move quickly now to public comment. I'm assuming there's no one present, but if there is a member of the public present at any of the locations who wishes to comment on any item on the agenda, this is the time for that. Hearing none? No. We'll move forward to item number 3. Item 3. Local control accountability plan.
Yes, thank you. So as you all recall, on the 15th of June, the board held public hearings for our local control accountability plans for each Pivot Charter School. And now the plans are before the board for approval. Each item has each school has a separate item. And I did want to just point out that within each item, there is the local control accountability plan, as well as the federal addendum and the local indicators report. And it is a requirement that we present the local indicators along with the LCAP for review and approval at the same time, at the same meeting. So I just wanted to point that out. And then the documents for North Bay, North Valley, and San Diego are the same as were presented on the 15th. The Riverside LCAP had 1 or 2 slight changes to wording in the LCAP document, just to make it very clear which actions and efforts are targeted towards our ATSI status, which is for Hispanic students and socioeconomically disadvantaged students who have high rates of chronic absenteeism.
Thank you for that. Are there any questions from members of the board for Liz? Hearing none. We'll take each one individually, correct? To approve, Liz?
Yes.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve item 3.1, local control accountability, including the federal addendum and dashboard local indicators report for Pivot Charter School North Bay?
Moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
And opposed? Thank you. Item 3.2, local control accountability plan and with the federal addendum and local indicators for Pivot Charter School North Valley 2. Do I have a motion to approve this item?
Move.
Okay, we have a
Second.
motion. Second. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We'll move to item 3.3, the local control accountability plan for Pivot Charter School. I have a motion to approve this item.
So
Move.
moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 3.4, local control accountability plan with the federal addendum and dashboard indicators for Pivot Charter School San Diego 2. So I have a motion to approve this item.
So moved.
Thank you. Second. All those in favor? By saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Hearing no opposition, the motion carries. Thank you very much for that. We'll move to item 3.5. This is approval of the budget for Roads Education Organization and each of the Pivot Charter Schools. And our Chief Business Officer, Liz, will provide a summary.
All right. So we presented in the financial update on June 15th all the details, and nothing has changed since then. But it is a requirement to wait and not approve the budget until after the LCAPs are approved, because there are quite a few expenditures in there which are detailed for the budget. So the protocol is to approve the LCAPs first and then the budget. And then I just did want to also mention that approval of the budget for the organization and for each Pivot Charter School also includes all of the associated staffing and compensation plans and things like that that were discussed and provided guidance from the board.
Thank you very much for that. Are there any questions for our Chief Business Officer? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve the 24-25 budget for Roads Education Organization, including each of the Pivot Charter Schools?
So moved.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving this item signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion carries. Thank you very much. And thank you, Liz, for doing a great job in preparing the budget.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
We'll move to item 3.6, the Consolidated Application Certificate of Assurances for all Pivot Charter Schools, which includes protected prayer and homeless education policies. Liz.
Yes, apologies to you all. These are normally on the first regular June meeting, but unfortunately we were unable to have the documents ready. So we were luckily able to get them on this agenda today. The system for federal funding applications and things like that is open, and Pivot Charter School, as has been the same case in the last many years, we apply for federal title program funding. We also receive some special education funding federally, and other things that come along, such as ESSER, are also federal. Those are the federal COVID-related monies. And in order to receive any federal funds, each LEA district or charter school must certify various things, including that they have a homeless education policy and that prayer is protected in schools and things like that. So these are the standard annual assurances that you all generally see. Nothing has really changed for these, but it does allow us to receive quite a bit of funds. And next year, the federal funds that is estimated across all the schools is about $637,000. So.
Okay. Any questions for Liz on this item? Hearing none, do we have a motion to approve this item?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The motion carries. And finally, we'll move to item 3.7, the applications for federal title program funding for all Pivot Charter schools. Liz?
All right, this is a related item to the last one. We just do break out the title funding applications because there's a few special things on it. One of those is that we are requesting, again, as in past years, that the board authorize each Pivot Charter school to operate a school-wide program under Title I. There are two types of programs, and the school-wide program is designed for those with at least 40% of the students being socioeconomically disadvantaged or from low-income families. And so we are, again, as usual, requesting that the board approve the title funding applications with each charter school operating a school-wide program.
Great, perfect. Thank you. Any questions from the board? Hearing none, do I have a motion to approve this item?
Move.
Second.
Second? Okay, thank you both. All those in favor? Aye.
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 Anyone opposed? Motion carried. Thank you. We will now move to item 4 on the consent agenda. Are there any questions that you have on any of these items for board members? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda with the exception of item 4.3.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 When opposed? Hearing none, the motion to approve the consent agenda passes. Unfortunately, on item number 5, I don't have the date in front of me of the next scheduled meeting. Dana, can you help out just so as a reminder?
Yeah. Saturday, November 2nd, per what you guys approved back in April for your year-long schedule for next year, at 8:30 a.m., which means everybody will come in Friday and we'll have the meetings at the school site on Saturday, November 2nd.
Perfect. Thank you for that.
Long time from now. It feels like ages.
I know.
Gonna be lonely
get
at home.
We'll get updates along the way.
Yes,
I'm
you
sure.
will.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.